Democracy wins, folks. What can I say? Well, who here knows who Nina Turner is? Do any of you guys know? Well, Nina Turner is... See, apparently none of you know. You're all disgraceful. Nina Turner is fucking great. State senator from Ohio, a friend of Bernie Sanders. Nina Turner and... Nina Turner and Bernie Sanders are like... with absolutely no racial connotations, chocolate and peanut butter, okay? These two go together real good. I've known about Nina Turner for, I suppose, only a little bit less time than I've known about the existence of Bernie Sanders. She's just a really consistent voice of reason and progressive values. And you know, frankly... honestly, probably the second most based senator after Bernie Sanders. Do any of you think differently? Do any of you think that there's anyone, because Bernie Sanders is still my favorite senator, you know, Vermont. Does anyone think there's any better second runner-up than Nina Turner? I don't think so. Maybe some of you disagree. Well, Nina Turner, if you know, I don't know, I don't see race, you know, myself, but as you can see, is black. Not only, no, she's a state senator, not a national senator. I just meant like senator. Yeah, no, I should clarify. She's not a national senator. Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar is a congresswoman. She's a state senator, just in the general category of senators. You know, there are a lot of state senators out there, but whatever the case may be, she's great. Now, you've probably noticed that she is indeed black and is also, by the way, definitely a comrade. Definitely a comrade, okay? So here's Nina Turner on CNN, rocking a just truly radiant halo aura of her hair, you know, as one does. And we're having a conversation about Bernie Sanders, and let's see how it plays out. You know, let's see how it goes.
You know, Nina referenced Dr. Martin Luther King before, saying that he said from the Birmingham jail that we should be concerned about white moderates. That's actually not what Martin Luther King said. What he said is we should be worried about the silence of white moderates.
Are you kidding me?
Nina, wait.
No, she's making a language point.
What he said was we should worry about the silence of white moderates. And what we have in Joe Biden is a man who is not silent.
So a white lady over here on the right, oh, she's a U.S. representative, not a state senator? What white lady over here on the right is saying is that the very, very famous letter from Birmingham jail is not, in fact, about the ideological tendencies of white moderates, but is actually about the silence of white moderates. Meaning that if a white moderate speaks up about racial issues, that means that they are insulated from the criticisms levied by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Nina Turner immediately tries to call this bullshit out, but you know, she's a guest on the network, so...
He has a long record, and many votes that in today's world feel like the wrong thing were the wrong thing, and he has discussed that over and over again, as Bernie Sanders did on the gun votes and other things. So we can be talking about votes from 20 years ago, or we can be talking about people's values and who they trust.
Last quick point.
And that's what Joe Biden's going to be talking about.
Last quick point to you, Nina. With the Reverend Chris,
All right. Nina's been death-eyeing the camera, so let's...
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about, he said, it is the point that the white moderate wants things to be comfortable, and instead of focusing in on that, the bigger threat is not necessarily the white...
Look at it! The fucking white bitch is shaking her head!
Instead of focusing in on that, the bigger threat is not necessarily the white KKK member, but more the white moderate that is more comfortable with keeping things the same and pretending like there is no tension.
Don't use Martin Luther King against Joe Biden.
This bitch! Don't use Martin Luther King against Joe Biden. Look, not only does she interrupt Turner on her last segment here, not only does she interject after their little head shakies over there, not only how dare you? Joe Biden, segregation Joe Biden segregation sympathizer Biden, how dare you? How dare you invoke the name of Martin Luther King Jr. against Sleepy Joe, sleepy segregation Joe.
You don't have that. You don't have that standing. I'm sorry.
You don't have that standing. As a progressive organizer and a black politician who has been standing up for everything Martin Luther King Jr. believed in for your entire political career.
Don't tell me what kind of standing I have as a black woman in America. How dare you?
You have a lot of standing as a black woman in America. You don't have the standing to attack Joe Biden using Martin Luther King's words.
You don't have the standing to attack Martin Luther King, or to attack Joe Biden based on Martin Luther King Jr.'s words. What standing do you need exactly to accurately interpret one of the most famous things MLK ever wrote and use it against the exact type of person who it would be applied against? Oh shit. Thank you so much, comrade. I'll get to that shortly. Jesus Christ, fucking Joe Biden. Look at this white woman. This is, you know what this is? I mean, we know what this is, right? This is shut down, shut up, Negro. You uppity, you know, black. Shut the fuck up and sit down. That's what this is. I mean, let's not fucking, I'm not trying to race bait here or nothing, but holy shit. This fucking woman misinterpreting it, saying that a black woman doesn't have the standing to use that interpretation against Joe Biden, smiling and shaking her head. This is absolutely like an uppity Negro situation right here, unquestionably. Oh yeah, you can do your little camera emotes at me if you want, but you know I'm right. You can, yeah, this is just racism right here. This level of patronization is 100% a reflection of the racial dialectic here. Yeah, look at the host, dude. He just wants to die right now. This fucking guy.
I didn't attack anybody. You're taking it that way. Listen, don't dip into what I have to say about the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. How dare you, as a white woman, sit up here and try to tell me, what I'm supposed to feel and what I'm doing right now.
I'm out of time.
Oh, is her name Hillary? That's good.
I didn't jump in on her, though. And then she wants to jump in on me and give me a certain
nobody's jumping in on anybody. You guys are in the same party. This is what you guys have to figure out. You're in the same party. And let me tell you, you better keep that same.
Isn't that fucking horrible? Isn't that fucking horrible that we have to share a party with white bitch over there? Can you fucking believe that? Like, that's like the ultimate black pill at the end of this. You know what I mean? That after, like, so on one hand, we have a white woman defending a segregationist sympathizer, misinterpreting MLK and saying that a black woman doesn't have the standing to attack Joe Biden based on what MLK said. And on the other hand, we have a progressive, probably crypto-socialist, black woman who is correctly interpreting what MLK said. That's the ultimate black pill here. And then this fucking red-faced dude, who has done nothing wrong here, I don't think. I mean, he has a program to run. This fucking red-faced dude, who does look like he wants to kill himself. Yeah, has to be like, all right, guys, get along.
Same energy when you're up against Trump that you have against each other, because he is bigger and badder than I think you guys are ready for. But let's agree on this about Dr. King. Only light can drive out dark.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. Now, I mean, he's a lib too, you know. They always do this. They reduce Dr. Martin Luther King down to a bunch of trite, you know, like, I have a dream, light can drive out darkness. Oh, in the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it's good to be good. But they completely ignore all of his serious, you know, deep-seated criticisms of capitalism and of white moderation. Oh, by the way, funny thing, really funny thing. The white lady? Come on. Oh, you deleted it. You deleted it. Someone have a clip. Dude, Hillary Rosen over here apparently tweeted out like 8 apologies, and every one of them got ratioed, and she just kept deleting them. In one of them, she called her an angry black woman. She was like, guys, be mad at me, not mad at Nina. I have no right to say angry black women can't be angry or some shit like this. This woman is like a walking country club, dude. She is like physically incapable of not like fucking invoking white supremacy over the black people in her wake. Yeah, here we go. On air Thursday, I said my colleague didn't have standing to use MLK. That was wrong. I'm sorry for saying those words. Please no need to defend me and attack angry black women. They have standing. I don't even know if that's meant to be bigoted or if she's just stupid. She should be made fun of either way. But like, holy shit. No, this is 100% uppity Negro talk, dude. 100%. Democrat on CNN, Legal Defense Fund co-founder, mom with opinions, interested in yours. This is some get out shit. This is, if you're black, this is the last thing you see before your soul is sucked out of your body, dude. And this is, by the way, what also very racist conservatives will say when they talk about how the Democratic Party is like the real racist. And there is a type of truth to that, though the Republican Party is far, far worse than the Democratic Party when it comes to race, in almost every respect, in almost every single respect. It is important to remember that the racism of the Democratic Party isn't usually the Donald Trump overt, direct, a condemnation of non-white people. It's not the saying they're good people on both sides with the Nazi rallies. It's this hyper white, Rust Belt, blue dog condescension of black people. This elitist snobbery, where else are you going to go? And that is, I think, in many ways, a worse type of racism to deal with, as indicated in Martin Luther King Jr.'s excellent letter from Birmingham jail, where he talks about that exact thing. And I'm going to go over it one more time. And I am sick today. I got sort of the sniffles. I may make two honest confessions to you, my Christian and Jewish brothers. First, I must confess that over the past few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, I agree with you in the goal which you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action, who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by a mythical concept of time, and who constantly advises the Negro to wait for a more convenient season. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Lukewarm acceptance is much more bewildering than outright rejection. So Nina was right, of course, That has nothing to do with the silence of white moderates, but rather the fact that white moderates will often set the liberation of blacks on a timetable to constantly to assuage them, to defer them. It's not time yet. We're not ready. And this is what libs do to socialism as well. This is what they do to all forms of radical progress, which is, of course, what MLK was advocating for. MLK was frustrated because more so than just the people who were literally lynching blacks, there were literally millions of Americans who were sympathetic to the cause, but there was always something. It was always optics. And by the way, remember, everything they do today, where they say that the left is too ornery, the left is too demanding, the left is too divisive, Bernie Sanders fans are toxic online, everything they do to us, they did to MLK 10 times over. Every single thing, every single strategy they use today, they've been doing for a very, very long time. The nonstop articles condemning the behavior of 1 or 2 or 3 pro-civil rights activists who maybe went a bit too far, maybe looked bad on camera. The constant reminders that the optics are bad, that it's not time yet, it'll never get through the government. You have to ask for less, you have to be more patient, you have to be more conciliatory, you have to be less demanding, you're being entitled, you're being uppity. Every single time there is progress, the same litany of excuses come out to deter that progress. Yes, and the slaves and the abolitionists and the union workers back at the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, and everything, every single, and the first wave of feminism and the second wave of feminism and Stonewall and the gay rights movement, every single time, every single time, every single time. Every single time we are on the cusp of real progress, there are people like Hillary What's-Her-Face, Hillary Rosen, waiting there to, in every way, shape, and form, express sympathy but nonetheless deter your forward movement. This woman apparently bought 500,000 Twitter followers, and she works for the consulting firm behind the Keystone XL pipeline. Damn! She's some lesbian, Jewish, LGBTQ advocate, but she nonetheless is a horrible human being who pushes back against the advocacy for racial progress, and is part of the destructive Keystone pipeline. Damn, it's almost as though liberal identity politics that don't take into account real revolutionary sentiment or class will always end up being tools for the establishment, a veneer of progressivism that does nothing to actually move society forward. On a positive note, her fuck-up was so legendary that the king, Bernard Sanderino I, has tweeted about it. It might have been a previous account, Guildmaster. I'm not sure. What I'm really more concerned about is the Keystone Pipeline thing. Joe Biden must accept responsibility for his surrogate telling our campaign co-chair, Senator Nina Turner, that she doesn't have standing to invoke the words of Dr. King. That is unacceptable, and Joe must apologize to Nina and all the people of color supporting our campaign. There we go. That's the closest I can do to a Bernie voice. That's hot. That's hot there. How long ago that... Whoo! That tweet came out 30 minutes ago and it already is at 28K. That's a good one right there. That's going to be a big... Oh, he's going to have to respond to that one. Whew! Ooh, that's good. Your Bernie impression is getting better? Thank you! Thank you, I really appreciate that. Pretty bad impression, bud? Oh. Okay, well. Pretty good Bernie impression, I must say. Thank you! Thank you, I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. There we go. Up, down, and up again.